Here's Ron the Stinky, okay? Ron the Poopy Pants, Ron the Piss Pants, Ron Meatball Ron, okay? Here he is trying to fucking, communicate in this unique predicament, communicate that he is, still very much a fan of the Trump coalition, but also simultaneously trying to fucking say, whatever. He's trying to do whatever he can here, okay? But, like, it's a really, really shitty situation for him. It's hard. It's hard. How do you differentiate yourself from Donald Trump in your entire career, or like any sort of notoriety that you gained revolves around like you copying Trump's shit, okay? It's not going to happen. Let's hear what he has to do here. All he can do is fucking just like do the finger point. That's all he's got. He's got nothing else.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Megan from the Florida Standard. We wanted to know what your thoughts are on the rumored Trump indictment, and if you have any role in it. If charges are brought on him, will you have any role in extradition to New York?
So I've seen rumors swirl. I have not seen any facts yet, and so I don't know what's going to happen. But I do know this: the Manhattan District Attorney is a Soros-funded prosecutor, and so he, like other Soros-funded prosecutors, they weaponize their office to impose a political agenda on society at the expense of the rule of law and public safety. He has downgraded over 50% of the felonies to misdemeanors. He says he doesn't want to even have jail time for the vast, vast majority of crimes. And what we've seen in Manhattan is we've seen the crime rate go up, and we've seen...
Like, literally, every single person that's running against Trump is using his lines, okay? Bar for bar. Verbatim. Do you understand? Mike Pence said the exact same shit. This is literally just a carbon copy of what Trump wrote, okay? With just less pizzazz. That's it. And it's not going to happen for you, dog. You're not getting anything if all you can pump out is like Trump's entire fucking flow, copied a Harder Than Drake stole from XXX Tentacion, okay? Just bar for bar, word for word, okay? And he's got better flow than you. It's just not going to happen.
Citizens become less safe. And so you're talking about this situation with, and look, I don't know what goes into paying hush money to a porn star to secure silence over some type of alleged affair. I can't speak to that. But what I can speak to is that if you have a prosecutor who is ignoring crimes happening every single day in his jurisdiction, and he chooses to go back many, many years ago to try to use...
He just said he's George Soros back. He didn't even like allude. Did I miss it? Did he even allude to the fact that he is like the DA is black, or that he's a thug? He didn't call him a thug. He didn't call him an animal. You know what I mean? Like, see, that's what I'm saying. Trump is just fucking bullhorning it. Okay. Ron DeSantis, on the other hand, is not even going super racist with it. Okay. You're wrong. DeSantis says everything hogs love, but without the deranged rambling. They love that this guy seems more rational so they can spit in liberals' faces. Yeah. If there's one thing about the Republican Party, especially the most active parts of the Republican Party, especially the ones that, engage with the primaries, those guys definitely want someone who's reasonable. Yeah. No, they love that. You're right. You're so right about that, brother. Yeah. They're always saying like, oh man, I wish we had someone more marginal, someone more neutral, not marginal, someone more neutral about issues, someone who can someone who can present themselves in like a guy who went to Yale, like Ron DeSantis. Yeah, dude, you're so right. That's why Mitt Romney won and defeated. Remember when Mitt Romney defeated Barack Obama? And then that's why Donald Trump lost to Jeb Bush in the primaries, and Jeb Bush became the president because, rational, reasonable, coherent Republicans. Like, what are you, fucking on crack, dude? Are you crazy? No, man. This is the content presidency, okay? That's it. Yeah, remember? Yeah, Tom Cotton. Bro just vaporized. He got his clout in 2020 and rode out. Yeah, where's Tom Cotton? Where's Josh Hawley? Where is... Oh, wait, another one. Where is Blake Masters? Where's Black Masters? Where's Blake Masters? What happened to that guy? You know, these guys are so incredibly coherent. What happened to them?
Do something about porn star hush money payments. You know, that's an example of pursuing a political agenda and weaponizing the office. And I think that that's fundamentally wrong. I also think it's important to point out when you're talking about these Soros-funded prosecutors, yes, they may do a high-profile politicized prosecution, and that's bad, but the real victims are ordinary New Yorkers.
On the one hand, you say Trump went too far with the racism sentiment and lost a lot of normie voters. But on the other hand, you say DeSantis can't win because he isn't Trump. Which one is it? I just wanted some clarification. Welcome to the most significant party, the most significant problem facing the Republican Party's future prospects in the United States of America. You have arrived at the heart of the conundrum. That is literally the problem. You have an incredibly active primary voter base that is looking for unhinged sickos, okay? So you have to capitulate to that base to win and you know, fight your way out of a primary, especially if there's some solid fucking contenders there. But those primary voters are not enough to win general elections, especially not in the national scale, okay? They might win in Florida, where like, you know, every expat or like every fucking, you know, third generation or second generation Cuban voter is like literally saying like, we want more fascism. But that is not going to help you in the national scale. It doesn't scale out. And that is precisely the problem that Republicans are trying to fucking deal with. Expats are immigrants. Yeah, I know, but it's the same word. Doesn't matter. Anyway, they are unfortunately victim to their own success because their success basically relies on being increasingly more brutal with no immediate material restitution. So if you push the culture war button too fucking hard, you might get a lot of benefits out of it like Donald Trump did. Okay? You might galvanize the base. You might get like psychotic supporters. But that level of polarization is going to, you know, scare off the moderate Republican voters who are just like, I just want a tax cut, dog. Shut the fuck up with this shit. Right? I just want you to kill homeless people. You know what I mean? Like, what is this other stuff? Like, I don't give a fuck about like baby vaginas and penises, okay? Stop telling me about children's genitalia all the fucking time, right? Don't throw Haas. That's like literally the fucking Matt Walsh Republican Party extremely online rhetoric is all children's genitalia. That's all they fucking talk about. And they're unhinged. That's what they do. And it's gross as fuck to constantly talk about it. We know, but can you stop bringing it up? Fuck. No, I can't. Not when I'm literally talking about the one instance where this is all some of these unhinged, you know, neck-bearded, mouth-breathing fucking weirdos can talk about. So, anyway, yeah, they're scaring the hoes. So the problem is much larger than like Ron DeSantis in general. Ron DeSantis is just the perfect way to capture. Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump and the ongoing battle internally within the Republican Party is a battle that is much larger, is what I mean. It is a battle that has been going on for longer than you would think as well. Like it's not Donald Trump that caused this to happen. It's not a rift that Donald Trump caused. It's one that basically the Republican Party built into their electoral strategy. You know what I mean? That's it.
Ordinary.
So is this a bad thing? Let them fight? Oh no, I love it. I love watching the infighting. Are you kidding me? I fucking love watching this. It would become a really bad thing if it could become a really bad thing if they were able to like basically convert the suburban housewives into that like you know, schizophrenic style of politics. I said this like originally. Like it's all entirely dependent on like how much brainwashing can Fox News engage in to get like the white suburban moms who are like married to the fucking car dealership owners and married to the HVAC business owner guys to believe that like, you know, they want to trans all your children or whatever. If they can actually get enough of those people on board, like this country is fucking, you know, it's already accelerated off the hill, but like, I guess it'll be even faster. The acceleration towards fascism will, you know, get even faster, but that's it. DeSantis is literally the kid named Finger. I don't even know what this Turk is saying right here. But yeah, That's the situation. That's the predicament. What am I saying? Predicament. I can't even talk today. I'm having a hard time with my words. I apologize.
Americans in all these different jurisdictions, that they get victimized every day because of the reckless political agenda that these Soros DAs bring to their job. They ignore crime and they empower criminals, and that hurts people. Hurts a lot of people.
Like, he's got no riz. He's got no charisma.
Every single day. These Soros district attorneys are a menace to society, and I'm just glad that I'm the only governor in the country that's actually removed one from office during my tenure.
Yeah. Oh man, the Soros governors, dude. That's the biggest threat to society. The Soros DAs. That's the biggest. Soros DA basically is just a way to say, like, we got some woke DAs that are causing problems all around. Meanwhile, the real problem is the top of the hour ad break. Okay. Let's talk about the real issues for a second. At the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. Okay. And no, George Soros will not help you unless he is gifting subscribers in the chat. Right? And some people may be backed by George Soros, or some people may be backed not by George Soros, but on their own, will gift you. Okay? You might be lucky and get gifted a sub. And that's one way that you can avoid the top of the hour ad break. But if you can't get lucky, then you got to make your own luck by subscribing for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. It is funny to say that, like, George Soros is responsible for a crime wave. I mean, it's basically Sussy Joao do Brazil. Thank you for the 5 gift subs. The man from the ether. Thank you for the 5 gift subs. And Big Boy Gamer Man. Thank you for the 5 gift subs. Allowing 15 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. These are all George Soros's workers in the chat gifting you subs. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. I just want to explain something. Yes, I'm confused. Isn't Soros-backed institutions and Nazi conspiracy theories? Why are they so open about it? Because they can get away with it. Because it's like it's like Jordan Peterson saying cultural Marxism in the Frankfurt School without literally saying cultural Bolshevism, right? You flip one word enough, most people are completely unfamiliar with Nazi rhetoric and fascist propaganda of that sort. So that's how they get away with it. They just say a Jewish dude is literally fucking eroding the American safety, the safety of white Americans, by hiring DAs to not prosecute black people, to let them go roam the streets freely and do violent things. That's basically what they're saying. That is precisely what they're saying, as a matter of fact. And Nazis said the exact same shit. It's just that if you hyper-focus on that, they will just, like, constantly do a Ship of Theseus style argument where they're like, oh, I didn't literally mean, oh, wow, well, George Soros is a billionaire. And he is funding a bunch of projects. Like, wow, that's a big problem. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, it's just, you will never win that. So I don't even, like, argue about it. It doesn't even fucking matter ultimately. Yes, no matter what happens, it basically is the same argument that Nazis used to make about how, like, Jews are destroying the moral fabric of Western civilization. And then also on top of that, they'll say, what do you mean? We love AIPAC. We love Israel. How dare you say we're anti-Semitic? Fuck you. How dare you say we're anti-Semitic? Fuck you. We love the far-right theocratic ethno-state of Israel. Quick quitter. They give it the 5 get the subs as well. So, good luck. It won't stick.
And in terms of we are not involved in this, won't be involved in this. I have no interest in getting involved in some type of manufactured circus by some Soros DA, okay? He's trying to do a political spectacle. He's trying to virtue signal for his base. I've got real issues I got to deal with here in the state of Florida. We're obviously shutting down CBDC, which is important. We've got so many things pending in front of the legislature. I've got to spend my time on issues that actually matter to people. I can't spend my time worrying about things of that nature. So we're not going to be in.
Yeah, he's too busy banning fucking books that, like, even mention the concept of, like, two dads. You know what I mean? Guys, he's got real issues. You know what I mean? Like wokeness to combat. Okay.
Involved in it in any way. I'm fighting for Floridians, and I'm fighting back against Biden. That's what I do every single day.
Just moments ago.
Yeah. Oh, Putin went to Mariupol. We're going to talk about that as well. But before we get to that, like I said, are you enjoying the show? Refill your popcorn. You will love this next part. I love these fucking dumbass Trump posts. This post was fact-checked by the real American patriots. DeSantis goes so light on Trump. Meanwhile, Trump on DeSantis. Trump deleted a Truth Social post attacking Ron DeSantis for partying with students when he was a teacher, which temporarily made everyone think, wow, did he think he went too far? He then reposted it, but added that the girls were underage. He even threw a photo in this time. Ron will probably find out about this sometime in the future when he's unfairly and illegally attacked by a woman or possibly a man with false accusations. He said, you're gay. He called him a gay pedophile? Dude, that's awesome. No way. Yeah. He's going crazy with it, dude. Projection? Nah, Trump is not gay. Trump is asexual 100%. I will ride or die for that. I genuinely think Trump is disgusted by like sex. I think he is like, he's not even ace. He just like literally thinks it's the most disgusting thing you can do. Ron DeSanctimonious will probably find out about false accusations and fake stories sometime in the future as he gets older, wiser, and even better known when he's unfairly and illegally attacked by a woman, even a classmate that are underage, or possibly a man. I'm sure he will want to fight these misfits just like I do. He's like, I mean, this is fire, like undeniable. Kyle Driver, thank you for the 5, get the subs. It's undeniable that this is crazy. He's doing it. He's bouldering. Now, what was Trump's response to that? New Florida Governor Ron DeSantis mocks Trump in his first response to the likely indictment. Look, I don't know what goes into paying hush money to a porn star to secure silence over some type of alleged affair. I can't speak to that. Yeah. Trump's response to Ron is calling him a gay pedophile while simultaneously making it seem like he's, on his side. Okay. Meanwhile, Ron DeSantis is like, oh, yeah, don't come after Trump, but also simultaneously don't know how to deal with hush money for porn stars.
How this has been.
Oh, my God, this is awesome. Real America's Voice, Charlie Kirk. Let's hear. Whenever I have an issue, whenever I watch something that's going on in the news, I'm like, what does Charlie Kirk and Alan Dershowitz have to say about this particular matter? Okay? They're the goats. They are the reasonable minds. I cannot wait to hear what they have to say about Trump being arrested potentially.
You talk about how this is bigger than Trump, about if you're able to do this to political opponents and dissidents, it sets bad precedent, it allows prosecutors to go above and beyond, and it actually makes us less free.
Without a doubt. There was a South American dictator who said, for my friends, everything, for my enemies, the law. You can use the law to get anybody, as Justice Jackson said, or as the KGB had said, show me the man and I'll find you the crime. This is the worst example in my 60 years of practicing criminal law, of targeting somebody for prosecution and then rummaging through the books, giving people immunity and trying to concoct a crime that doesn't exist. And if this is allowed to succeed, none of our liberties are safe. Today it's a Republican who's a target. Tomorrow it's a Democrat. And the day after tomorrow, it's your Uncle Charlie or your nephew or your niece.
Mm-hmm.
There'd be no limits on what prosecutors can do to their political enemies. And they're going to do it to people who are running against them for DA next. And it's just such a violation. And not only a violation of American law and civil liberties, it's actually a violation of the Bible. The Bible instructs judges 2 things. Don't take bribes. That's obvious. But the number 1 thing is don't recognize faces. And don't.
That's exactly right. Yes. Do not favor anyone in a court. Yes, that's exactly right. Yes. Continue. Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's why it violates every core of American value. That's why this is one of the worst prosecutions I have ever seen. Believe me, I've seen some bad prosecutions, some good ones. I've seen guilty people acquitted and innocent people convicted, but I've never quite seen a prosecution like this. We had to staple together 2 unrelated statutes, one federal, one state, violate the statute of limitations, violate the rule of law, and concoct a crime.
Aw, no repeat on that. That's a bummer. Anyway, I love hearing from like the #1 defender of pedophiles. Like, just anytime I'm thinking like, oh, there's an ongoing issue, okay? I'm like, who to ask? Oh, the #1 defender of pedophiles. It's so wild that Fox News simultaneously tries to cater to the QAnon fan base, okay? And then they also turn around and like have Alan Dershowitz on. Like Tucker Carlson has Alan Dershowitz on all the fucking time. Alan Dershowitz defended successfully Jeffrey motherfucking Epstein. He also even wrote articles about how there is a constitutional way to lower the age of consent. Like, that's crazy. He was hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein all the fucking time. And yet, like, every conservative is like, save the children, save the children. If you're gay in the vicinity of a child, if you're gay and you adopted a child, you're a pedophile. Literally, like, that's the fucking guy. Like, that's the guy you have on every fucking week, dude. Come on, man. Anyway, so there's barriers being placed right now. A quick update. Pro-Trump influencers are trying to organize anti-indictment rallies tonight, one in New York City and one at Mar-a-Lago, mostly on Telegram. Trump fans are mostly telling each other not to go, saying it's a Fed trap. This mirrors most pro-Trump protest failures since January 6th. Part of the problem is that the potential pro-Trump New York City protests at a therefore non-public secret location, making it all seem sketchier to people who might want to go. You have to sign up to an email list to find it, and it's supposed to start in less than 4 hours. The other issue is that like they are scared. The January 6th like indictments actually made them scared of legal scrutiny because it was like a wake-up call for them. You know what I mean? Like, it literally was a wake-up call for them. They were like, what? Like, I could actually face legal scrutiny if I film myself breaking into fucking the Senate? You know what I mean? So that was like a big moment for them. A big moment, like a wake-up call for them. I just, fuck, man. I love this. I love this so much. Overall, great stuff. Just wonderful stuff. From what I understand, one of the protests, the one in Mar-a-Lago specifically, they want to build a barrier around, like a human shield around Mar-a-Lago to stop, like, cops from forcibly entering Mar-a-Lago and, like, forcibly arresting Donald Trump. Like, it is so moronic that they think that, like, it's already stupid that they think that, like, you know, they're going to forcibly take in Donald Trump, a former president, okay? But it's additionally stupid that, like, let's say there's actually an altercation like that they could form a human wall to stop cops from entering Mar-a-Lago. God, I really, 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 I just hope all of this happens so bad. It's just like, it's incredible. Awesome. They just made it legal to mow down protesters in Florida. Yeah, brother, not fucking like anti-Cuban protesters, as we saw, and not not like you know, right-wing protesters. I mean left-wing protesters. That's who you can kill legally with a car. Anyway, here's the role that the Secret Service might play in the possible Trump arrest, as an ex-agent explains.
Lawyer Richard Painter and CNN law enforcement analyst and former Secret Service agent Jonathan Wackrow. Richard, I just want to start with you, counselor, here, because Paula was talking about this. What we're seeing, or not seeing, but know about at the grand jury today feels unusual because a grand jury investigation, by definition, is run by the prosecutors. The defense lawyer is not even in the room. So how will the questioning of Robert Costello even go today?
Well, we don't know what's going to happen and what he's going to say to the grand jury. This investigation has been going on for years. I submitted a amicus brief to the U.S. Supreme Court to allow the subpoenas to go forward from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. And we don't know what's going to happen with the grand jury, but we should keep in mind that Michael Cohen was charged and convicted.
Someone said AI guy
in connection with the payoffs to Stormy Daniels on behalf of individual number one. Well, that means that it's highly unusual for individual number one not also to be indicted. So I'd expect that to...
Guys, stop making fun of Dick Painter, okay? He's a former White House ethics lawyer. Yeah, I'm surprised you guys are seeing him for the first time. He was like, didn't he make waves originally? Like when everyone was like libbing out about Donald Trump, he was like the original ethics guy who would like constantly be up Trump's ass.
To happen sometime soon. How it will play out, I'm not sure.
And stick with me for one more, Richard. As we look at all of this, and everybody's trying to read the tea leaves here, right? Trying to figure out what's going to happen. Part of that is because of what the former president put out over the weekend, saying that this was going to happen. As Paula said, his own attorneys refuting that. But the fact that this narrative is now out there, what does that do? How does that weigh on prosecutors at this point? How does that inform any decisions, if at all, knowing what could be coming? In terms of a reaction?
Well, Donald Trump is going to try to play this to rev up his base and cause unrest, but the prosecutors should continue to do their job. That's what prosecutors are there for. The problem is that the much more serious charges are in the hands of the Department of Justice. The charges for sedition and insurrection in connection with events after the 2020 election. And unfortunately, we have a situation where the district attorneys, both in New York and in Fulton County, Georgia, are far ahead of the Department of Justice, or at least appear to be far ahead of the Department of Justice in their investigations and handling grand juries and moving toward indictments without DOJ having taken action on the most serious charges. The sedition and insurrection charges would disqualify Donald Trump from public office under the 14th Amendment, Section 3. Those really should be the first charges to be brought. They should have been brought a long time ago. It's been over 2 years since the insurrection of January 6th. And unfortunately, without air support from the Department of Justice, the district attorneys are going to be subjected to very vicious attacks from Donald Trump and his supporters, which I believe could feed into more civil unrest. It's a very, very precarious situation right now.
Jonathan, I want to bring you into this discussion because talk about unprecedented here. The possibility, and again, we don't know if it's going to happen, but the possibility of a former president being arrested raises all kinds of security concerns and processes that we've just never seen before. Yes, Trump called for protests over the weekend. There's that, and I'm sure there's security concerns there. What should we be looking for, and how will this even work? Which different agencies from the state, from the city, from the federal government might be involved with this?
John, great question. And listen, there's a lot of uncertainty. We don't have line of sight of exactly what the prosecutors are doing right now, but we do have line of sight of what law enforcement is doing. And what they're doing is, with the backdrop of actions from January 6th, they're being hyper coordinated around their efforts. And those efforts are across multiple law enforcement entities, both at the state, local, and federal level. But what's really interesting, John, is that the roles and responsibilities around all of the different law enforcement entities that are involved are different. They have a different remit on how they're addressing this issue. And let me just quickly walk you through what we're looking at. The NYPD, right? They are in charge of maintaining civil order. So what they're going to do is they're going to be focused on the area around the courthouse, but also New York City at large, right? There are multiple areas where protests could spark at a moment's notice. And remember, NYPD has a dual role here. Protesters are individuals who are exercising their First Amendment rights, and they need to be protected in the execution of those rights. But NYPD is also keenly aware of any type of violent activity that
they are going to be doing themselves because of how upset they are that Donald Trump is getting arrested, is what you should say if you are being honest. Because in the state of New York in general, the NYPD as an institution is like Donald Trump's most loyal soldiers, right? I mean, these guys are the number one hogs that love inside of New York City. If you want to find Trump supporters, the NYPD is the best place to go. Okay? Straight up. That's like that's the best place to find the most amount of Trump support.
Stem from these protests. So they have a dual remit there on maintaining that civil order and protecting protesters. New York State court officers, they're the ones that are going to be protecting the courthouse, the physical building itself, again, from any type of activity. The FBI, they're involved. Why? Because they're monitoring for any types of violations of federal law by any of these protesters. They're looking for acts of potential domestic violence by extremists. So they're involved. Now you have the Secret Service, and the Secret Service playing an interesting role. Usually we see the Secret Service as a coordinating entity. They're the ones that usually come up with these security plans for rallies and speeches and any type of political event surrounding either a sitting or former president. But in this case, they're not. They are in a protective mode. They are viewing this as really an administrative movement where they have to protect Donald Trump from point A to point B, let him do his business before the court and leave. They are not playing that active role that we typically see them in. They're not providing the magnetometers at the courthouse. They're not providing the perimeter security that we typically see. Now, are they working with law enforcement partners? The answer is yes. They're going to be informed, but they are not the controlling entity, which is something rare that we typically don't see the Secret Service engage with.
Jonathan, real quickly, how much, if at all, have the events of January 6th, what we saw unfold there, influenced the preparations that are likely underway at this point?
Listen, they're heavily weighted, right? And I think that you've seen from January 6th across a whole variety of different types of events, both in New York, Washington, D.C., but across the nation. Law enforcement is heavily reliant upon information sharing, intelligence, and preparedness. They have to be. They have to plan for every type of event.
You know what I'm waiting for? Another really funny thing that I think will be awesome. Is like the MAGA communists and shit. I can't wait for those fucking weirdos to be like, Trump is just like Eugene Debs, like being arrested for being proletarian. Okay. I mean, that is if they know who Eugene Debs is. Like, I'm sure I'm giving half of those fucking weird losers like the opportunity to now cook up their own psychotic tweets, but like, good luck. You guys can make an argument similar to how like Trump is going to be running from prison just like Eugene Debs did, and maybe even Nelson Mandela if you want to get like real fucking vile with it, you know what I mean? Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for like Glenn Greenwald to like subtly make these weird, I mean, not that Glenn Greenwald is a MAGA communist, obviously not, but like I totally think that it'd be a really funny moment to be like, yeah, Trump is running from prison just like Eugene Debs did, because he's the real working class hero.
Actuality, especially in a city like New York, where there are multiple locations where incidents could occur, sparked by and fueled by social media posts from a whole variety of entities. So law enforcement has to be prepared. They have to be coordinated. They have to have those contingency plans in place. Hopefully they never have to use it. Hopefully, the calls for peaceful protests are adhered to, and all of that preparation is really going to be unnecessary. But should it be necessary, the NYPD, federal law enforcement entities, they are prepared to react.
Jonathan Wackrow, Richard Painter, really appreciate both joining us this morning. Thank you.
Help me understand what's going on today, because I don't think I've seen something quite like this before, where you have a grand jury investigation and the person being investigated is a...
Dude, all of our heroes are going to jail. This is so fucked up. The Matrix is coming after Trump now. Who won't the Matrix go after? First Andrew Tate, now Donald Trump. It's like unacceptable, dude. The fucking Matrix. All of our top G's. It's literally like the Matrix is coming after everyone that Aiden Ross has tweeted about. It's fucked up. Aiden, save yourself.
Allowed to basically ask for a witness at the end here. How is this going to work? Who's going to ask Costello questions? What's going to happen?
John, thanks for having me back. What's going to happen today is the exercise of Donald Trump's rights. They're very broad under New York law, unusually so. That's why Donald Trump himself was invited to the grand jury, but instead he's sending in a proxy in the form of attorney Robert Costello. Now, remember, Mr. Costello represented Michael Cohen, and he was criticized in the report of special counsel Robert Mueller for what, to me, tiptoed up to the line of witness tampering. At one point telling Michael Cohen he has powerful friends, obviously referring to the president, and he should sleep well tonight before he cooperated. Trump and Trump World turned on Cohen, of course, when he did cooperate. Costello's lawyer relationship ended with Cohen. Now Costello is going to come in and share information from that attorney-client relationship, apparently saying that Cohen was telling a different story before he cooperated. But John, we know that already. Cohen has admitted to that. So they'll bring in Cohen, possibly if Costello needs to be rebutted, to say, yes, I wasn't candid before I've cooperated. I've been candid since. I've analyzed Cohen's statements since he began cooperating, and they have been rock solid. He's told the same account about the president's hush money to influence the 2016 election.
Michael Avenatti, you forgot about him? Yeah, I mean, for good reason, I hope. Oh, my God. Isn't Michael Cohen a friend of the show? Didn't you go on Cohen's podcast? I did. I sure did. That is true. I went on Michael Cohen's podcast back in the day. Is technically a friend of the show. Avenatti 2024, yeah, he's going to run from prison too. Remember when Libs wanted Avenatti to run for office? Yeah, I do. It was fucking gross and awful, and I hated every moment of it. And I routinely criticize liberals for that, even the Libs in my chat too. God, so many fucking memes, dude. So many incredible memes. Ay. Okay. So what else am I missing here? Is there any angle I haven't covered? I mean, I guess we haven't really talked about how the Republicans have been chirping about this as much. We kind of covered it from a liberal, the liberal perspective, but I do want to hear from the Republican perspective on this issue. Tomorrow's like Christmas for you. I mean, that's what libs are saying too. Liberals are basically saying that, it's Christmas arrest, right? Anyway, McCarthy saying to the followers not to protest. We talked about the Patriot moat, trying to create a moat around our president, our glorious president. Marjorie Taylor Greene, along with Kevin McCarthy, is saying we do not protest we don't need to protest about the communist Democrats' plan to arrest President Trump and the political weaponization of our government election interference. These idiots are sealing their own faith. Dude, this is such pussy shit. Who has made her ambitions. She's slowly more of an institution. Into power. Fake friends, dude. Sad. Got that McCarthy has and has completely abandoned our boy Trump. Yeah. She's slowly but surely becoming more of an institutionalist, betraying her base that rose her into power. That put her. What should I? No, not rose. Put her into power. That raised her into power. Rose her to power. That lifted her into power. No. Put her in office. That's good. We did it. 50-word essay do. Yeah. It is pretty funny though. Like this literally is like a liberal ass tweet. What do you mean we don't need to protest about the Communist Democrats' plan to arrest President Trump and political weaponization and our government and election interference? What can you protest on if you don't want to protest on this? Like, that's so crazy. Like, this is some, compared to Liz Cheney, exactly. This is some Liz Cheney ass shit, dude. It's the same attitude that makes no sense when you think about it, like, with respect to QAnon, right? Where it's like, the Democrats are running like a child sex trafficking ring, but you shouldn't do anything about it? Like, what do you mean? Oh, what can we do about all of these, like, glaring, obvious disparities and you know, income inequality and all this shit, and then, like, also on top of that, the Democrats, like, eating babies and stuff. Oh, just don't do anything about it. Just vote. Liberals lose every time because they say that, right? You can't run on doing more stochastic terrorism and then literally get to a position of power and be like, yeah, I don't want to do stochastic terrorism anymore. Damn, Chris Hayes liked my tweet. Friend of the show. What is sarcastic terrorism? Sarcastic terrorism is something different. I think you mean stochastic terrorism. My man said sarcastic terrorism. There is some good news, though. Oh, there's one here. This is what they're planning. The pro-Trump rally planned for tomorrow in Southern California is at the parking lot of an In-N-Out Burger. No, really. Wait, Chris Hayes, go on a show, please? Yeah, maybe. Okay, actual last try. Thread of my favorite Trump fan art edits from the depths of Truth Social. Enjoy. What the fuck? Okay, this is fire, dude. I am your voice. I am your warrior. I am your justice. I am your retribution. Perhaps he could not in good conscience see the world burn. From Q Post 153, 14th of November, 2017. It's a yassified Donald Trump who never had this facial hair. I'm pretty sure this is not him. The chosen one. Oh my God. These people are so crazy. All patriots, stand united with Trump. We love you. It's time. I love him. I stand with him. Nothing will ever change that. It's time to take our country back. Dear Lord, please bless President Trump. Amen. Amen, brother. This man never gave up on us, and I'll be damned if I'm giving up on him now. Trump 2024. I stand with Trump. Checkmate. What? The return coming soon. You arrest me, you're making a big fucking mistake. How does America look? How does America looks in front of the world prosecuting and indicting a leading presidential candidate and a former president, a leader of the free world, only for political purpose? A disgrace from America, says Lara. Love that she, like, quoted herself. Like, this is azquotes.com. Also, I personally love that this is, you know, the most subtle form of art you can get. It's a hazel eye crying a tear on an American face. Together, we will save America again. Endless lies, endless wars, endless inflation, endless printing, which, wait, Trump did. Wait, all of these things, what? Endless oppression, endless subjugation of white people, endless surveillance of white people. Who will put an end to the endless? Taking control. Do I seem rattled? He's got a little groiper peepo in his Secret Service security detail. They made a little card for him, the greatest of all time, President Donald Trump. Nothing can stop what's coming. Hello, sir. This is America calling. We would like our real president back. You. We can't last much longer under Biden. We love you and we miss you being in the White House. Please return soon. Trump is the MVP. Most valuable president. Better to fight for something than live for nothing. If you put me back in the White House, their reign is over. Well, technically, yeah, that's true. As long as we have faith in each other and trust in God, then the sun will always shine on our very glorious republic. That one doesn't even Like, that sucks as a quote. Our very glorious republic. That's not even good. It's also funny to think that, like, I mean, this is what MAGA moms are just fucking flicking the bean to, okay? Straight up. Donald Trump, think about that. Nothing gets a MAGA mom going like this shit, okay? Bars, a little bit of Franzia on a wonderful afternoon, and an evening with Facebook memes about sexy Trump. I don't want to think about that. Sometimes you have to. Yeah, real estate moms just going into town.